God made a contract with the children of Israel once we came up out of Egypt. Like, hey, listen, I need y'all to follow these commandments and pass them down to your babies. If not, your community will be destroyed. You see what I'm saying? And let me prove that to you real quick. But, go to Deuteronomy 28:68. Okay, okay.
This is the book.
And you tell me if this happened to us. So tell me if this real history. And use these pictures, use them as reference as you read this line to you, brother.
Ready? This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
How do we get over here? With ships, right? So that's all of a sudden, shalom, brother. All of a sudden, the Bible is talking about something that's happened 3,000 years before it happened. How Moses know that? The children of Israel was going to go into slavery on ships. Because God made the contract. And see, I know that, we always think that that's a white man book because it's been beat into it. We don't want you to read this page. We don't want you to see that. Slave, obey your master. So now all of a sudden, 100 years later, I don't want to hear that book. It told us to obey our master. Because we think instantly about white people, not knowing that the black Messiah and a black God got his black children on punishment for not listening to his black rules. You see what I'm saying? We the ones who got a contract with the Most High God. And he said, you know how America passed laws to keep you safe? So what make you think God didn't pass laws to keep you safe? And then we broke them, and now we're not in safety no more. Our babies are in danger. It's time for the brothers to get their mind right, because we are the leaders of the community. Thus saith the Lord, brother. All right? Yes, sir.
Okay. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
I is Moses. Thee is you, because you was there. Believe it or not, Moses was talking to you. And we still broke the commandments. And now, the homeland that we don't see, they tell us we from Africa. The Bible says we from Jerusalem. That's the mother of us all. So not only have they beat lies into us, and we downloaded it in our brain, but the Bible is saying something totally different. African. God said you're from Jerusalem.
And here's what the Bible has to say about that regarding coming from Jerusalem. The book of Galatians, chapter 4, 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
And we begging for our freedom. We begging for the Most High to come back and return us back to our homeland so we can have our freedom. And that's why we used to sing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, coming forth to carry us home. Even in slavery, we were begging for the Most High to come back and take us back to our homeland. Because we're not free. Go ahead and finish up, brother.
Okay. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So all of a sudden, Moses is warning us about the slavery that we're going to go through. Once we get on those ships and we get off, they're going to sell us. And no man, when it said no man shall buy you, meaning to this day, you're not free. Because it just said that you was going to be sold to your enemies. Your enemies, we try to say that, oh, the white man not our enemy. That's what your mouth saying. But your God just said that those are your enemies, whether you like it or not. It's not a feelings thing, it's a fact thing. God said the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, if you don't follow these rules, you're going to have a whole lot of problems to face, and your babies is going to have to deal with them. You understand? So once we need to get back to this Bible and download the information that our God got for our best benefit, so we can have the best benefit for our sons and our daughters, and we can start looking like God's on this earth again. You understand, brother?
Yeah.
So that's what we out here fighting for. Because I know, what color is Christ to you? What color is Christ that they told you?
They told me it was be. I believe he was this color.
Okay, all right, so tell me who this. Okay, you got it. Tell me who that is, brother. Tell me who is that right there?
That's supposed to be Christ.
Okay, so we're gonna play a little baseball game, and we're gonna see if they've been telling you the truth or telling you a lie. So it's that team versus this team, okay? Because one of them got to be taught to your son. Whether he in life, if you don't have a God, one will be appointed to you. Just like in court, if you don't have a lawyer, one will be appointed to you, right? So if you don't believe in a God in this lifetime, they'll give you one. We want you to have one, and we want you to pass it down to your son. So we're gonna play a game and let God speak for himself, okay? Okay. All right.
All right, listen to this, brother. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 14. His head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow.
So it just told you that his head and his hairs, because Christ had a beard, it said his head and his hairs were white like wool. So it gave you the texture, wool. But it said white like wool. And then it said as white as snow, right?
Yep.
That means because it wasn't salt and pepper. So that means his head and his hairs was white. And it was woolly, so you could feel it. But it was so white, it wasn't salt and pepper. That just that little bit gave you the whole completion of his head, hairs, the texture, and how white it was. All right? Okay.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
What was Christ's first miracle? What did he turn water into?
Wine.
He turned water into wine, right? So we know Christ drank, he wasn't drunk, but he drank it in moderation. And sometimes the whites of his eyes will turn red. You done seen your uncles and them drink and they turn red sometimes, right? So it's telling you right there that his eyes was like a flame of fire. But so that's 2 strikes against that man. Blue eyes, blonde hair, right? Now we got a problem. He got 1 more strike, and we're going to get him up out of here.
And his feet was likened unto fine brass.
What color is brass, brother?
Like a brownish.
Like your little baby boy. He brass, right? But let's find out about this brass.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Why Christ looked like you all of a sudden? It just went from brass to burnt brass. So who is that?
This is just a man right there.
So who is that? Who is that at the bottom? Hey, thank you. That's what we out here, brother. So when you stick to the pages and you give God the opportunity to speak, because they don't do it at church. You know what I'm saying? They speak for themselves. We just literally sat. You gave us 5 minutes. You gave us 5 minutes, and in 5 minutes, God spoke for Himself, right or wrong. And therefore, now you got a new understanding of what God looked like, and you know the children that belong to Him and where they at. They went into slavery for breaking the commandments. That's you. So now you got to find out the righteous acts to get back on God's good side, because you're not off the hook. It said, no man shall buy you. So if ain't no man bought us, that means we still got to perform some acts to get back on our God's good side. You understand? All right, brother. All right.
You right, man.
Hey, man, thanks for spending time up here, brother. No problem.
Shalom,
All right,
brother.
the Lord is going to bless. Truly.
Hey, our numbers is at the bottom. Emails, man. You got any questions, man? Hey, our children in danger, brother. It's time for us to get our mind right. It don't matter what you did in the past. The Most High turned a nobody into somebody in front of everybody, all right?
That's right.
Get your mind right, brother. Come holler at us.
Yeah.